Hello there, it's Gareth here. I hope you are well. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a simple four-step approach to solving problems. People face problems, all human beings face problems, I face problems, you face problems, we all face problems. Overcoming them is what takes the stress out of us life. If we're living with lots of problems, we never feel comfortable. So if you've got a really simple way to be able to handle problems and look at them, it's going to help you tremendously if you're somebody who does get stressed out when anything comes up that's difficult or problematic. So the first thing is that you must get clear what the problem is. One of the biggest issues people have is they actually worry about something, and it's the worry that bothers them. They don't really know what the problem is. They just worry about something fairly kind of grey. It's a grey area. What are you worried about? Oh, I don't know, I'm just worried about work. Well, what about work? I'm just worried about work. Or, I'm worried about my health. Well, okay. I'm worried about my relationship. These are the kind of things people say. They're not clear. Be very specific. Okay, you're worried about your work. Well, specifically, what about your work are you worried about? Well, I'm worried about my health. Well, specifically, what about your health are you worried about? What is it? Are you starting to have pains in your chest? Do you have some funny feelings in your head? Have you got some pain you can't explain? Be more specific. I've got a problem in my relationship. I'm worried and stressed about that. Well, what specifically do you think the problem is? You've got to be able to come up with a really clear, defined problem. Because only when you've got a clearly defined problem can you come up with a clearly defined solution, which is the next thing we need to look at. Once you've clearly defined what your problem is, and I do recommend you write this down, you write it down so you can read it as succinct as you can, but with as much clarity as is possible. Then what you want to do is start to explore the possibilities as far as the solutions are concerned. Now, what most people do when they're solving a problem is they try to think about what they currently know now or what they think the solution is at that particular time, based on the capabilities and based on their experience. What I'm suggesting you do at this stage too, when you're exploring the possibilities, is just go crazy with this, be as creative as you like, even if the solutions don't make any sense. Let's say right now you had an issue with your health. You say, I'm overweight, and you got clear, I'm a stone overweight. Well, then what are the creative ways you could lose that weight? What possible ways are available? And not possible from your current believing, but what are the possibilities? They're endless. Somebody might say, well, I could start going to the gym and I could eat better and then I could start to sort of do a little bit of running and that would burn some calories and then I'd lose the weight. Yes, and that's probably coming from your current thinking. But what if you just stopped eating for 3 weeks? If you stopped eating for 3 weeks, do you think you'd lose some weight? Do you think you'd lose a stone in 3 weeks? I guarantee you would if you didn't eat. Now you're going to say, well, that's ridiculous. That's the point with this. We want all the possible solutions, even the ridiculous ones. In fact, the more ridiculous, the better. Because what this does, you see, is when we start playing with the ridiculous ideas and coming up with ridiculous solutions, we actually have fun doing this because it starts to turn, it's like a game. And what I'm trying to give you here is I want you to turn this problem solving process into something that feels fun. Because when we do things that are fun, we enjoy that. And when we do things we enjoy, we do more of them. So all the possibilities, whatever they may be, write them all down. Even the ridiculous ones, like I said, the more ridiculous, the better. The third step is then what you're going to do is you're going to look at that list and you're going to come up with some that you'd like to try. So, well, there's a few here that are clearly ridiculous, but actually, which are the ones that could be possible? And then you want to make a list, get that list together, the things that are possible, and then pick one that you want to give a go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to experiment with that. And I'm going to use the word experiment because what you're doing is you're not saying this is a solution, you're just, this is a possible solution. I'm going to experiment with it, see what result I get. And at the end of it, if my problem's solved, fantastic. If not, the experiment showed me it didn't work, I can try something else on the list. So you get clear what you want, really, really clear, write it down. Then you come up with all the possible solutions to that particular problem that you have to solve. Then of that list, you pick 3 or 4 of them that you like the sound of and give them a go. Start with the one you like the most and give it a go. If that works, fantastic. If not, try another one. And then all you do, the 4th step, is you rinse and repeat that until you've got it correct. And what I say by rinse and repeat is you keep going through step number 3, pick another one on the list and give that a go. Experiment with that. And if that doesn't work, experiment with that. Just keep going. And if you exhaust the list, you go back and start all the process all over again. But I guarantee that somewhere on that list, if you've done it properly, all the possible solutions, even the crazy ones, and you've got a list, it'll be a long list, then you can start to work through it. There will be something on there that works for you and will help you solve that problem. The beauty of this is it takes away all the stress of the problem itself, creating this huge worry in your mind. In a lot of cases, when we actually start working towards solving a problem, the stress associated with it disappears, because actually now you're into action mode, you're taking action, you feel like you're moving towards something, you feel like you're in control. And what sometimes gets to us with problems is the fact that we've got this problem that we think is huge. It becomes a big scary monster in our head. We don't think we can solve it. And all of a sudden this stress builds and we don't feel in control, because all of a sudden the problem's controlling us. When we do this simple 4-step process, we actually take the control back. We become proactive in solving that problem. That takes away the stress. And when you've got less stress and less worry, you will actually find that solutions are easy to come by and certainly easy to follow through on. So just to recap, get really clear on what the problem is, very specific, write it down. Secondly, make a list of all the possibilities, all the possible solutions, even the ridiculous ones. Thirdly, I want you to have a look at that list and come up with a few that you like the sound of. And fourth, give it a go and keep trying that list until something happens. So keep repeating 4, try it again until it works, try it again until it works. Give it a go the next time you have an issue. I think you'll find it'll work. And thank you for listening. I'll see you again tomorrow for another video. Until then, take care.